Casino employees of Reddit, what are some things we're not supposed to know about how the house operates? The casinos are designed so that it is difficult to find the doors to the outside. Dude, you think customers have trouble finding the exit? You should see how many ask me where's the cashier in one shift. Obviously it's at the other end of the building, amongst a billion of other slots and past the tables, just to tempt players on their way to cashing out. I was at a conference in LV. Check-in meant crossing the floor or a very long way around the periphery. Meeting rooms were split between hotel wings, so you had to cross the gaming floor. Everything was about getting you to make that one extra gamble. We have boring ceilings, busy floors, and low lighting to keep your eyes on the slot machines. That guy hanging out in the bathroom? He's not a creep. He's security. I was at a relatively high-end strip club recently and there was a bathroom attendant. I thought, I didn't think this place was that fancy. I just realized. Slot machine jingles are written in the key of C to keep players happy, and to keep different machines from playing discordant tunes against other machines. Try finding a clock in the casino. There is no such thing. Or windows. Only use your player's card when you are expecting to spend a considerable amount of money. If you have the card inserted on a trip where you only spent $20, you will drive down your average day trip, ADT, and probably won't get as good mail promotional offers. Figuring out how to manipulate the averages will maximize what the casino gives you. I was a blackjack and poker dealer at a small casino in AZ. These are pretty specific to our house, but they were tactics that stood out to me. 1. If a customer was winning a lot, the casino would tap in dealers more often. A new dealer always meant an extra cut card. Statistically speaking, it has very little impact, but most gamblers are superstitious and a bit paranoid. Our pit bosses would do it just to mess with their heads and get them on tilt. 2. Again, this was a small casino, and we rarely had players playing with black $100 chips. When they did, we had to call black action, so our pit bosses could keep an eye on the game. The good ones would keep track of every single one of those chips. If you started taking them off the table, they would know how many you took and probably what pocket you had them in. 3. If it was late, and a bunch of drunks were still playing a $5 million table, they would tap me in to close it down. Essentially, I was a fast dealer, and pushed the pace so that they couldn't keep up. Dealing quicker meant they were making more bets per hour and more to the point. The game was moving quicker than they could follow. It's awful customer service, but it was an awful casino. If you get upset and ask for an ACM, assistant casino manager, you'll probably get free stuff. They just throw money at customers to ensure they return. I'm a poker dealer, and this makes me hate my job. People act like a complete asshole, and my bosses reward them, just hoping they'll come back. As a casino dealer, the fact that we don't owe the customers to win every time seems to be unavowed. More seriously, there's not really any big secret about our operations that I can think of. If you already know that the house has an edge on every game, because duh, it would be pretty dumb for them to run a business exclusively based on pure luck. You pretty much know what you're getting into. I deal at a government-operated casino, so we don't kick out people who count cards or win too much. I deal blackjack, Spanish 21, and a handful of novelty games. Pretty much all side bets, match the dealer, lucky ladies, 3 and 6 card bonuses, etc. are all suckers bets. They look like a good idea when that guy beside you just landed $120 on his match the dealer. But what you didn't see is him putting up $200 worth of bets to get that match. I've been in the industry more than 20 years. There are a few myths I'd like to clear up. Casinos do not pump extra oxygen into the air system to keep people more alert. There is no control room where people watching the surveillance cameras can decide who wins and when. Your chances of winning at a slot machine do not improve based on the denomination of the bill you put in. If you put your loyalty card in the machine, or if you press the button vs. pull the handle. Legitimate casinos do not try to screw people out of legitimate jackpots. Casinos actually like paying out big jackpots from time to time, as it's great advertising. Machine malfunctions, however, do happen, and the casino isn't going to pay you a giant jackpot that you didn't actually win. Generally speaking, base level employees, dealers, cashiers, hotel staff etc. cannot comp you. They don't have the authority. Find a manager or a casino host for that. And don't expect to get comps if you aren't using your card when you play. If they can't track you, they can't comp you. You know, all the trickery doesn't apply to only casinos. Most arcades where you can win prizes from electronic games, claw machines, stackers, anything that involves reflexes, are rigged. Where you win once or twice. But how come you don't win all the time? No. Your reflexes are probably right 90% of the time. But the game will only let you win 10% of the time. So if you see a stackers with a PS3 and you fail on the very last square 10 times, it's not you. Seriously. It's not. How can they get away with these scams? Bartenders can see how much money you put into the video games. If you want to get the drink fast and free, sit down by yourself and put in $100 without paying attention to the bartender. Pay attention to the screen and make small bets. Act like you're going to be there for a while. Soon she will come around asking what you want. I usually ask for a double scotch. Pull out some cash before they return. When they give you the drink, quickly hand them the cash. 95% of the time you get the drink free. Then press the cash out button and repeat at different bars. Don't have your friends standing with you or waiting behind you. Don't put $1-20 in and expect that to work. Don't give in to temptation to start gambling for real. You're here for a cheap drink. Remember that. Do play blackjack and bet minimum bets and play normal suggested betting strategies. This will increase the likelihood of coming up even when you cash out. Casinos give away alcohol so you will bet more easily and often. They train the bartenders to spot people trying to get a free drink. If you act like you are by yourself and are sitting at the bar with the intent to gamble for a while, and not just get a free drink, the bartender will want to get some drinks into you. Casino dealer here. Every game is weighted in the casino's favor. Everyone should know this already. It isn't a secret. There aren't any windows at my casino, but there are clocks. Pretty much the casino just relies on people's greed. And surprise surprise, most people actually do win money. Then they keep playing because they want to win more and then they lose it all. If everyone left as soon as they won a small amount, the casino would be out of business. Also, everyone accuses us of not wanting our customers to win. In reality, I don't give a damn if you lose. But I do actually prefer that you win, so you aren't an asshole at my table. I was a poker dealer in Iowa. Sometimes dealing blackjack and other table games as well. Decent college job. If the roulette dealer is looking at the wheel when he spins, there's something wrong. When I was in training, my boss had us call out a number. He timed it and hit our number right on. Said it doesn't always happen that way, but 90% of the time he either hits it or gets one to the LR. Said if the dealer is looking at the wheel, they might be working with someone. Your seat has been peed on. If it has a funny name, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, etc., don't play it. Worst odds. If you want a low variance game to milk your money, Pao is where you go. Drink service still comes by as it's near poker tables. Unlike penny slots. And you'll split almost every hand. Never play bonus extra plays on table games. Take a, usually, already horribly stacked game and make it worse. The double kiss dealers to get the pit boss's attention when they think someone is playing dodgy. I'm surprised how they hear it over the general noise. 2 casino layouts, the open air barn, and the maze with low ceilings. People like closed lines of sight, so no long aisles. People like nooks which feel lucky. The maze layout with confusing carpeting slows people's paths through the games and keeps their gaze on the machine's tables. The open-air barn-style layout decidedly gets less of the type of people susceptible to stay at a certain game for long periods. Friend of mine used to work concerts at a casino in AC and I would often go to hang out with her. During a long day she was allowed to go to the employee cafeteria and have a meal. At this particular casino their cafeteria was just beyond an employee-only double door. Not really monitored by security. She'd go through the doors flashing her credentials and 0 Fs were given by anybody. So we'd go to the cafeteria, grab a tray and load up. Typical buffet style setup. After she stopped working there, anytime in AC we'd go eat at this cafeteria. Nobody ever said boo. We've tried successfully and unsuccessfully to try to find this setup at other casinos. It's fun when it works. Next time you're at a big one, keep an eye where all the employees are coming from. Could mean a free dinner, and sometimes a free dinner is a big deal in a casino. If you're ever stopped, just play dumb. Edit, I forgot the most important part. If you do this, you walk back there like you own the place. Like you're Mr. or MRS. Mandalay Bay him herself. You look lost. And you'll get pinched for sure. When playing at the $5 blackjack tables, the house does not give a shit if they lose out on $5 from a player. It costs them more to call surveillance in smaller casinos than to just give the player a $5 chip. I once had a player who didn't speak English hand me a $20 and a $5 bill. I give her 5 chips in return. I turn to dump the money, and when I look back across the table at her, she has the chips lying on the table. Someone translates for me and she says she gave me 30. I clearly remember 2 different bills, but she was convinced. So like a good dealer, I call my supervisor over and explain the situation. After a quick call to the floor manager, he walks over and tells me to just give her the chip. It was a very frustrating day. Also, when I dump the money, it's gone until it's picked up at the end of the night. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in a casino, do not play shot machines. They use wire mesh in the construction of the walls to diminish or block cell phone signals, so you can't get that call from your wife saying that you shouldn't blow your mortgage payment. That's what I've heard anyway. I have never seen proof of it, though. I have seen my signal drop significantly in certain casinos. I've heard that it's part of their illusion that time isn't passing. They try so hard to make it seem like you haven't been there very long, so you'll keep playing. So they don't want you to get that phone call from your wife saying that you've been there 4 hours and it's time to come home. I've heard from more than a few people that Crown in Melbourne has walkways behind the toilets, so they can access the bathrooms and clear off the dead without carting the body through the casino. Apparently people off themselves all the time, because they've gambled themselves into no return. I used to work at a casino as a poker dealer and a proposition player. There are sometimes players at the table that are actually employees of the casino that are simply there to help start tables and create another stream of rake. Casino exec here. See my answers for lots of other questions people ask. The only 2 real secrets, i.e. not stuff like tips on getting more comps, is the house advantage of individual slot machines and the end of the accounting day. The former is obvious. The latter so you can't launder money, since we have to report aggregate cash transactions of over $10,000 that take place in a single day. Question. We called ahead and asked for a suite for a bachelor party at the Cosmo for 9 guys. Put down a deposit and all. When we arrived they had given it away. They gave us 3 doubles rooms instead. What really happened?